Hey, we love that umbrella guy. All right. Thank you. Thank you. What a bunch of crap there. Look at that. Boom, knocked off again. Give it a minute, it will settle. It's okay. It's going to be an interesting night. You know, the some days YouTube is so excited. It's like, how do we keep up there? It's like, you don't. Oh my God. So yeah. I guess we're not looking at big intros. Again, I'm not home today. I'm on vacation. We will be back tomorrow. That was not an internet issue on this side, by the way. They probably have better internet here than I do in my own home. If you notice a little reverb in the sound, by the way, I'm in a giant room. I have set up. I can bring all professional equipment with me. I brought a nice laptop. I brought a mic arm, microphone, all of that good stuff. But you know what I can't bring with me? I can't bring with me a room with sound dampening. So it's not that bad, but it's good enough. Now, today, what we found out today, it was something that I said would happen. I told everybody, I was like, they've been bragging that they're going to sue. You know, they've been bragging they're gonna go after all these folks. They pretty much told Travis they were going to sue him. And guess what happened? Everybody got sued, even the Popo. That's right. Annette decided, I mean, what a genius move, by the way. Oh my God. So we had a lawsuit drop that even named the Popo in it. That's right. And you know, it's not going to stop with that. In fact, there was a discussion, and the way I understood this, and they can correct this if I'm wrong, the reason they've been filing through, Scotty Boy, you know, low budget Iron Man, is because they don't want to look terribly with having so many lawsuits out there. I mean, right now we are looking at quite a few people that have been sued. We're going to look at the paperwork on that too. But this is crazy. I mean, we're talking. Check this out. Listen to this. So this is the people that got sued. Here, let me note this, and then, like I said, we'll pull everything up and do everything. But I'm just waiting for everyone to get here. So we have Madam Mayor, we have Therese Granger, Brett Granger, Deanna West, Rex Wood, Travis Willis, and Sheriff Gregory. That's right. They were all named in there. So you have 7 people. You know what? I was going with an over-under, and I was saying about 8. Well, you know, they just blew the curve on people they've added. And like I said, I figure they're going to keep going. They understand when this stuff blows back, like right now, they're able to pull in an audience with some of the nastiest bullshit ever. And when it blows up in their face, it's going to be crazy to watch. You know, this is going to absolutely be crazy. What they're suing over is Lloyd's Camper. You know, the day people went and got Lloyd's Camper. Yeah, they're suing over that. They decided that it would be smart to bring litigation. And again, name everybody, including the police officer in there. That police officer was there through all the video. Yeah. Got to go after him too. I mean, it's so ridiculous. We're going to read through it though. And again, so right now, what we've had from Spruce Bruce and Low Budget Iron Man, we've had the thumbnail lawsuit. We've had the Lloyd Camper. Just wait until just wait. Like I said, they're not done. They're going to start suing more, and it's going to be interesting when they're going to make some insane claims. Like you can tell they've already tried to set up the conspiracy angle. They're all in a conspiracy together. Oh my God. I've dealt with some low functioning morons, but my God, this stuff is going to blow up in their face. It is. I mean, you mark it. But this is what you deal with when you deal with litigious people, and again, they can't deal with like the mildest insult. They cannot deal with it at all. They have to go like hog wild and throw fucking fits. And of course they do awful shit. They do, and what's fascinating, like I said, they can hold a crowd. They can actually get people to watch as long as they continue, as long as they escalate. And people will watch when it returns volleys, because this won't be a one-way trip. Like I said, you mark my word on that. When they go out and they file all this dumb shit, they have just stacked up lawsuits. And yeah, people might be like, whoa, look at that. But like I said, this isn't a one-sided thing. Like when they're going after everybody and their mother and their like Lloyd doesn't have rights with this. Like you don't have the right to cover you don't have the right to cover a story that's newsworthy and again keeps escalating. Like, I mean, it just keeps adding. Like, oh my God, I don't even know what to say some days. I'm like, is this real? How can this be real? By the way, Fallen Hero, thank you for kicking that off. I appreciate you, brother. George, thanks for telling my brother you're the best. Hey, you folks are great. Like I said, I am live streaming from a guest bedroom, but I had to bring this to you. Megan was going to bring it today, but she was not feeling good. And I was like, you know what? This news must be broke. It must be. Oh, man, it's crazy stuff. Janine, thanks for the 249. Saw that super sticker roll in. Thank you. Appreciate it for the show. Also, Sue, thanks for the 5. There's more in that doc about Jeremy Hale than those listed in the Popo. Indeed. And we're going to read it all together. Indeed. And Alex, thank you. Welcome. Thank you for the membership. Welcome to ThatUmbrellaGuy. Yes, this document has a lot more about it. Again, it's wild and obsessive. And, it's fascinating to me. What they've done essentially, in my opinion, is they've allowed. So they were saying that it's coverage and stuff. It's been horrible from Jeremy Hales that he would do this. By the way, there are some idiots out there that think they saw Grudge Judge on this. And they seem to think, oh, Grudge Judge, he's going to be part. No. Like they think because Jeremy Hale's name is not part of, he's not a party to it, that the old Grudge Judge is going to somehow be the judge presiding over it. No way. Because part of the decision that removed him wasn't just Jeremy Hales. It was Miss Preston. Drink that in. I'll say it again. It wasn't just Jeremy Hales. It was Miss Preston. So, as far as that goes, yeah. Oh my God, I didn't even think about it. Look, Reed, is he Scott Reed? Sorry. So he's like low budget Iron Man and not so stretchy Mr. Fantastic. It's like Mr. Fantastic before he was rolled through the taffy machine. It's like, no, you're not supposed to roll in a ball. You're supposed to stretch. Oh, God. Let's pull this document up here. Let's check it out together. Oh, God, I'm looking forward to this. Though I don't wish this on anyone either. I do not. When I laugh about it and stuff, I do want to make that painfully clear. I do not wish litigation on people because you know what? It's a bunch of bullshit. It's a bunch of stress, time. We'll see what they want to do with this stuff too. If they need help, talking about. I think raising awareness has to happen. And you have to see what these folks are doing, you know? So you can see the filing itself. And again, I told you they would do this stuff. And I'm not saying I told you so. What I'm saying is, you knew they would. You just knew they couldn't stop. Okay, so check this out. Oh, by the way, Jack's mom said, thanks for 5 there. I said, that's the best way to get the sheriff's office on your side is not to sue them. Crazy stupid. Any good. Ad is out the window. Yeah, you have to wonder this too. You have to wonder. This is just, again, I'm not saying that they're shirking their responsibilities or anything else, but look at this. John Cook is facing some very serious charges. And the only way those charges work out for him is if the DA is like, yeah, let's do this or let's do that. Now, what do you think happens when you start fucking around with the police and everyone else and you start targeting them in real life? Do you think they might be motivated? And, you know, I know there are people out there who would be like, that's not what they do, Tug. You don't think they're human beings, and you don't think they would be, it's at their discretion how cases get handled. You don't think for a minute they might be like, yeah, maybe I want to handle this in the furthest, hardest core way possible. Oh, and you know, with John Cook, you can be like, oh, well, John Cook isn't named on that. Oh, they all know. They know. They know. Are you kidding me? Now she's begging for people to buy her a camper. She already has a fucking camper. Like, this was another dude's camper. This wasn't hers. This belonged to Lloyd. He's an elderly veteran. That's not her property. At the end of the day, boy, that's gonna get some spice up in there, you know. And it's going to allow, it depends on where this goes. If it gets dismissed outright, then you don't get to see the fireworks. But if you do, what ends up happening is one of the biggest witnesses for all of this would be Lloyd. And you know, the phone conversation that Jeremy had with Lloyd, 100% would be admissible, because that was the reason that certain people got him on. Not everybody. Like Madam Mayor said, she had her own conversations. And you get to hear about all the concerns that will include concerns about the child, concerns about all types of stuff. And again, this man is saying, I was in fear for my safety. I didn't want to return there. I wanted my stuff out of there. So it's going to be something else to say. Also, Janice, thanks for the 10 there. Hopefully, Scotty Boy will wise up to Lynette and Brucey Boy's insanity orbit will really realize how much they all lie. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think this is all a plan, thinking that they can all benefit in some way. You know, like Brucey said, he thinks that this would he gets his case out there. Okay. What a way to do it, buddy. What a way to do it indeed. But of course, you're not doing that for bad reasons. Remember that too. That's what he said as well. Okay. Yeah. Did that close on me? That was weird. That closed down on me? Give me a minute. I'm going to open it again. That was really bizarre. It opened and then it closed out. Let me see. Okay. So it looks like it's open there. You can see the document. Yes. Because I see it now. It just closed out for some reason. YouTube's being bizarre today. I don't know what's up. I don't know. We roll with it though. It's all good. As long as we can speak to one another, it's all gravy, baby. Ooh, it's ground gravy. That's what's on the ground there. Ground gravy. Give me 1 second. I got to pull up I lost the chat here. Give me 1 second. I'm pulling you guys up. I can't see you. I miss you all. There we go. Okay, now you can see the document there. So if you check this out, 8th Circuit, of course, you can see the file date, like we were talking about, something that's popped up there. So this is for Lynette. Now she's Michelle. I can't keep up with one or the other. I guess we're Michelle Preston on this one. And HG. HG messed me up at first. You know, when I saw him going in and repping HG for some reason. I don't know why, but when I saw this the first time, I saw this in the, I'm going to call them the threat letter that Megan and myself received. I could not place HG because for the life of me, I could not think child there. Isn't that fascinating? So, of course, they want the child exposed to anything except when you send pictures demanding coverage and, yeah, when you add them to litigation. So you actually add them. So you've made them part of the spotlight for sure. Isn't it amazing? People will look it up. People will be wondering about who that is anytime someone covers the case, and they'll see that, HG. Now it says here through her mother, but the first time I saw that HG, I was like, what? Who is that? But now on there, okay, so it shows you verses. Now you see all the verses here. We have Reese Granger, Brett Granger, Deanna West, Rex Wood, Travis. And like I said, the Popo themselves, Deputy Sheriff Gregory. Holy crap. I mean, it's amazing, isn't it? That is absolutely amazing to see. I was like, are you got to be kidding me? They really did go after the police. So the complaint for damages. Now you can see everybody's added in. And I'm being completionist for this. So you have come now, plaintiffs, Michelle Preston, H.D. Preston, by and through their undersigned attorney, files for a complaint for damages and would state follows. So you can see, again, residents of where people are, where they all are. Okay, let's go to the next page. I'm going to make sure the pages pull correctly, and then we'll be able to just flip them. I'm going to blow everything up too, so we can actually read it. Oh my goodness. Fast facts. We're going to have facts common in all cases. That's going to be our first part. Again, I'm switching over to this. You have to excuse me. I'm doing this on a laptop. It's a good laptop. I made sure to most of these places that you stay, you could do this on a phone or something, right? But no. We're not doing that. So I made sure that as part of this year, I set aside and made sure I got a freaking laptop, travel mic, all of that good stuff. Like I said, I bring a boom arm with me and everything. It's amazing. So I hope everything sounds good on this. I know people get more expensive microphones, by the way, but I've stuck with the Blue Yeti. It's worked for me very well, and I continue to use them. But yeah, I use an adjustable mic arm because I hate those little mics. So I hope everything comes through there. So beginning in, this is facts common to all counts, by the way. Beginning in or about the summer of 2023, non-parties, Jeremy and Martha. Now, I thought about taking Martha out, okay, because of the name. But here's the thing. I noticed in all of the videos, Martha's name comes up again and again. Now, I don't want to use her name throughout stuff, but they are doing their best to make sure that they go after her all the time. And the name has been in all of those. So this is just how the document reads, okay? They've dumped this out into the public. It's crazy. I deleted, by the way, I took off the last page of this because it had addresses all over it. So, of course, I dumped that, all right? Fabricated reality drama for the content on their YouTube channel, What the Hales? Centering on plaintiff Miss Preston, an ex-husband with whom she resides, John Cook. Now, what's amazing here, remember, What the Hales are not part of this litigation. I want to make this very clear. They are not listed on this. So the first statements here are about non-parties. But don't you find that bizarre? This is about non-parties. Because in order to make this insane bullshit work, they have to bring in non-parties. Really think about that. They have to blame everything. They have to make it center on What the Hales. So they're already out the gate talking about two people they didn't even sue. Weird, huh? And again, they bring up, them centering on Miss Preston and her ex-husband with whom she resides, John Cook. Oh my God, the John Cook stuff. Thank you for bringing John Cook in. You know, here's the thing with John Cook. Right off the bat, if we want to talk about safety, again, Lloyd didn't have a lot to say about John Cook, but I would say right off the bat, there's an easy way to cover Lloyd. Should Lloyd be afraid for his safety? I don't know. Let's see. What's happened recently? Was there a pow-pow allegedly pulled on an 8-year-old? What about inappropriate touch or strike? Were there 18-year-olds saying that they were deathly in fear for their safety? That they repeated that to Jeremy Hales over and over and over and over and over again? I wonder. So it's fascinating. They went ahead, every name you drop in this stuff, that makes stuff about them invisible. That'll be fascinating, wouldn't it? So the theme of the What the Hell's reality drama was bad neighbors. And it was originated based on the false premise that Miss Preston, quote unquote, stalked us to Otter Creek by purchasing property located across from where Hales and, I'm going to say, Jeremy and George own property on Otter Creek, Florida. Jeremy and George have used Miss Preston, Miss Cook, and their 4-year-old, HG, as fodder for content on their YouTube channel, subjected them to harassment, bullying, stalking, defamation, invasion of privacy, thousands of menacing and vulgar comments about what the hell's fans on social media. That's a long sentence. Messages and phone calls from strangers threatening Miss Preston, and strangers making false child abuse reports, resulting in dozens of visits by Child and Protective Services. Again, remember again, this is not a lawsuit about Jeremy and George. Just reminding you of that, by the way. This is litigation, pointing at other people, talking about Lloyd's camper. But of course, we haven't even gotten there yet. Now, never before or currently has there been, I would say never before. Here's a, this annoys me. Now, I don't know if Bruce the Mongoose or Low Rent Iron Man, again, Mr. Stark. I don't know which one of them wrote it, or maybe a helper. But when you say never before, that includes the present. Never. You could have just said never. Never has there been. You don't have to be never before or currently. But then again, I mean, what this reads like is it reads like a can of Whippets or something. I don't know. What will make this make more sense? Glue. Lots of glue. Oh, never before or currently has there been another major YouTube content creator devoting their YouTube content almost exclusively to targeting a private person or persons, let alone elderly, poor, and disabled, with defamation, bullying, stalking, harassing, invasion of privacy, legal threats, physical threats. It's the incitement of thousands of strangers by casting the targeted person as villainous characters in a fake reality story when they are real life persons involuntarily being. So again, we've gone through all of this so far. Facts, comment. Have nothing to do with the people listed. Okay, let's continue. Next page. All right. I got to blow this up. Just give me a second. I'm resizing. That's why I'm cutting it off. I could just skip to the page, but I want to resize each one. That way we start off with a beautifully enlarged. That way you're like, oh my God, this actually feels like a professional podcast. And I'll be like, yeah, thank you. And I'm running in what's going on. Allegedly. Made into public personas for the purpose of being targeted or destroyed for YouTube content. Now, number one, I would argue that the reasons they list are not the reasons for the YouTube channel. Number two, there are channels dedicated to all types of people. If you want to go out, look up, for example, Boogie 2988. Look up any person that is out there. They will have a channel that is dedicated to hating on them. Very, very much. Now they're trying to say private persons, right? Now the fascinating thing about this is as they file more and more litigation, they've opened the floodgates. I remember Bruce the Mongoose said that while he's out there, I didn't know they ran with snakes, but what they have. Do mongooses run with snakes? Well, they're supposed to catch them and eat them, but oh no. Anyway, I never knew they piled up. Anyway, Bruce the Mongoose and friends, they he can't take criticism. That's the most amazing. I've never seen a lawyer that would be like, I'll sue you for calling me an ambulance chaser. Why? Because I'm not a personal injury lawyer. He's like, are you fucking kidding me? Oh my God. These people are fucking, all of them, man. They are so soft because they result to the nastiest bullshit when they get the littlest. I mean, you say one of them sounds like fucking Grimace, like I said. What do? They blow their lid and they be like, oh, guess whose name I got today? It's like, you fucking soft. They're soft people, man. That's how you know they won't last on YouTube. Why? Because they will utterly decimate themselves. This kind of stuff too. Like I said, this kind of bullshit will get you sued into the Stone Age. And here's the thing again. I know that they've been sitting on there and applauding. Oh, this is so fun. Again, every one of them is going to get sued by somebody. Every one of them. And it'll make a crazy shit show. I mean, you buckle up because even if you don't care about any of it, it is going to be the absolute maddest shit show you've ever watched. I will give it that for sure. But at the end of it, the people that think they're going to make out like bandits, oh no, that's not going to happen. That will not happen. But anyway, hide near there. So we're at 13. Hale's use of his channel against Ms. Preston has taken such a toll on Ms. Preston's time, energy, and emotions that it's virtually destroyed the ability of Ms. Preston and her daughter to live normal lives or spend the peaceful and joyful time together that any mother and child would consider priceless and can never be recovered or replaced. Again, nothing about the lawsuit. In addition to What the Hales, numerous other YouTube channels have covered the bad neighbor fake reality story, enjoying the privilege of showing Hale's videos on their own channels, so long as they propagate Hale's storyline. Here's the thing, and I'll make this clear to anybody. I hire a company. I have to pay them to protect my ability to show stuff. I ask Jeremy Hales because I use entire videos of his and I talk about them. So I find it to be nice to do that. And if I did, even with transformative content, I can do that. Now, somebody could fight me for it, and that could end up being a giant shit show. But yeah, I pay a place to make sure I don't have those problems. So to say that they enjoy the privilege of, no, I make transformative content 100%, and I don't have problems with that. And I think people that did, because they won't buck up buttercups and fucking, if they think they're right, fight. I mean, if they really think they're right and they had a problem, then fight for it. But apparently they're pissy. Like I read about how somebody had a strike against them for a Jeremy Hale content. Like, oh my God, that happened. I didn't know about it because I didn't care. I had no idea what they were doing. How am I supposed to know every fucking channel out there? I keep up with my own shit. But apparently, them all sitting together too. They sit together for 4 to 9 hours a day sometimes. And they talk about suing people and targeting people and doing all kinds of crazy shit together. What sounds like a conspiracy to you? Does this sound more like an inane conspiracy like they're making up in this stuff? Or does it sound like a conspiracy? Again, when all these people get together and they target, and you've seen the letters that have come out Again, trying to recruit other channels, promising them more views, promising, hey, if you're a journalist and you pick this up, guess what? We will have you on all the time. Doesn't that sound sweet? Mwah, mwah, the exposure, baby. Get in here. Well, which one sounds like incitement to you? Because that sure as fuck sounds like incitement to me. What do I know, though, right? What do I know? But anyway, a major storyline in the Hales created bad neighbor fake reality drama has been that Miss Preston is an unfit mother to her special needs daughter. Is she special needs? Special needs, like, I don't know, that has a certain connotation, you know? I guess you could, I don't know. But special needs, like, it summons this specific type of issue. Okay. But special needs daughter, HG, whom she adopted at birth in 2019, is storyline advanced by Hales with dozens of defamatory videos portraying Miss Preston as crazy and her property is squalid and dangerous. Squalid and dangerous. Again, would you consider living on top of an old dump? Nails, screws, all kinds of other shit out there. You're saying, oh, don't run out there. You're going to get a nail in your eye. Would you consider all that stuff potentially a problem? Like when people see pictures and there's, again, like broken pools full of like black water in them and, jagged edged. I mean, what do people think on that? But okay. You're saying that's not squalid. That's not dangerous. So as a result of the Save HG storyline, WhatTheHales fans have made false, again, we're 2 pages in. I still haven't heard about what's going on yet, right? What does the sheriff have to do? Oh, well, you'll get to that sometime later. They have made false child abuse reports to Levy County Child Protective Services, resulting in 27 visits as of the filing of this complaint. One YouTube post, Veteran Nation. So Veteran Nation gets brought in. Look at that. On August 12th, 2024, phoning the CPS report during a live stream. In every case, CPS reported no abuse or neglect, never found any reason to take any action whatsoever, yet Hales and other YouTube channels profiting off WhatTheHales content continue to propagate that HG needs to be rescued from her mother. It's fascinating. Like, people will tell you, it's not going to help if you call CPS. I just tell you that. It's not going to help. But it's fascinating. You can say that a million times. Don't call places. Don't make contact with people. It doesn't matter. They're just like, they're all doing it. They're all there. No. The other thing, too, is Child Protective Services does not tell you who called in. Did you know that? Child Protective Service, if they do, then they've actually violated their own policies. So who called these in? Were there people in the community? Were there people outside? How would you know? How would you know indeed? That's a very important, interesting question, isn't it? So let's continue this. Again, I'm going to blow up the next page. I think it's an easier way of doing this. Oh, man. I was like, man, is this going on like in the middle of... Wait, did I skip a page? What the fuck? Give me 1 second. 16, 17. Oh, what the hell? Okay, so this actually does okay, so you remember what we read. Again, I just want to refresh this in your brain, okay? I'm just going to say this before we switch over, all right? So this was about the last sentence was, in every case, CPS reported no abuse, neglect, right? That was the last sentence we hit. You remember that, right? Okay, so this is the next statement in this, the way that it switches over. I was like, what the fuck I thought I missed a page in here. Like when I was setting this up, I actually thought I had missed a page or something. So listen to this here. So it goes to 17. Okay, that was 16. This is 17. Again, we're right in there. So we go from that to, Lloyd Campbell lived in his RV on Miss Preston's property. It's like, what kind of transition was that? Like, what happened? Wait, what the? Wait, what's going on, guys? I feel like I missed something. Does that not seem like a weird transition to that? Like we're just all over. Hey, while we're throwing spitballs and darts at the map, maybe, maybe we can actually get something there, you know? Hey, by the way, Alex, thanks for the 10. Did you notice HG's on the lawsuit the child? Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mentioned that. Yes, I'm glad other people saw that. What's my prediction for how this hits? This specific one right here, I don't know if it'll be dismissed outright. I mean, it could go many different ways. It just depends. I think, of course, you file for a different judge. You go for a dismissal outright. That can happen. It might not happen if you actually have to go forward. I mean, it's it's going to be something else to see. Federal lawsuit, like I said, federal lawsuit, tortious interference, a hard win. Could they win? Sure. They could also lose. I'm being like blunt about it. You know, tortious interference, hard cover. Like I said, I talked about Vic Mignogna in the past, Vic Mignogna litigation. That man had proof that people were going to conventions and attacking him behind the scenes, threatening sponsors, pulling money, destroying this man's life. Now, it's a Texas court, not a Florida court, but it was tortious interference claim, and they came back and called that free speech. They were calling the man an arpist as well. They're calling him all kinds of horrible shit. But they were costing him his livelihood, and they were taking away stuff. Now, on the other side, I've seen tortious interference cases that have, boom, but it's a hard case. So that one, who knows? That one is a coin flip on what happens, in my opinion. Now, that doesn't mean you don't have a case. I want you to understand that too. When I'm talking about the outcome, it's the type of case you bring. It's not about what you're trying to argue. That's a very different thing. So you could have the best case in the world, the best, the best anything, and that not necessarily matter. So we'll see. We'll see on that. Thumbnail lawsuits, garbage. This is garbage. I think we'll run into real problems with this one. It's going to be a hard sell right here, in my opinion. So again, it can be dismissed outright. If you go further into it, this could really cause some problems. And remember, there's the reversal of all these. They can go the other way too. I'm catching up with super chats real quick. I'm making sure I'm trying to keep these in the moment. So if y'all have questions, this way. K-Rab, by the way, thank you for the 5 gifters. I saw that. Thank you, my friend. What's up, Bear? Thanks for the 2. Sounding good for a travel setup. Thank you. I mean, it's not a cheap travel setup. I got about a $2,000 freaking laptop. That's what it's for. It's for sound editing. I mean, it's part of that. I try to run a good gig. When you support, again, part of the costs have to go to, like I use for kids and everything else. Part of it has to go into business. Some of it for taxes and other stuff. So, bam, baby. We try to keep a good one, and then we have good mic, good. I mean, everything. So thank you, Mimi. Thanks for the membership. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for the membership. Welcome to Tuesday. Appreciate you there. Tie Sticks, thanks for the 2. Private people, like honest, their own privacy. It's so private people. They're trying to do the private people thing. The reason they're trying to do that is they're trying to say that they're not public figures. And that's not going to fly. Ms. Preston has approached the media for arrests. She's run for public office. I mean, again, limited purpose public figure. They've been hyping her repeatedly. They talk about her own lawyer, talks about her all the time online, talking about her in connection with all of this. Again, limited purpose public figure. So, you know what that's important with, because with claims like defamation, you go from defamation to actually having to prove this little thing called actual malice. And that standard becomes much more difficult. So it's important. That's a distinction. That's why they try to make that distinction. Just a note. Patrick, thanks for the 5. This looks like a move. Make basis for you watch, help, or support What the Hales and we sue you. Yes, it is far-fetched, but crazy runs this situation. Actually, what I think they're going to try to do, this is just my guess here, they're trying to set up like their claims before they're going to be like civil RICO. It's a plot. All these people are plotting together and we're suing them, which is the dumbest fucking thing ever. Yeah, these channels, we've existed for a long time. You see how I cover. I covered Amber Heard for 4 fucking years. I cover what I find fascinating and what I find important. I thought that this had elements of all of it. But of course, they're going to allege some kind of crazy conspiracy. Holy God, who knows? But I think that's the way that they're going to try. And they're going to sue more and more people. And sooner or later, like I said, that ends up blowing up in your face because people will fight back. Yoda, thanks to there. The professional victims and scammers. My adventures at home brewing. Thank you. 5. Keep it a good fight. Maybe Deucey needs tinfoil hat for all the conspiracy theories he's throwing around. What he wants to do, they're trying to find a reason to sue. Like, this is what they're trying to do with it. Every statement here is part of, again, their reason to go forward and trying to sue. So all of their inane insanity, it's all has a purpose. All of this does indeed have a purpose. All of their quote unquote ideas. Yeah. I love how they all deny like doxing and targeting fucking people. Like, again, that these people engage in some nasty shit. They either directly engage in it or they benefit from either way. They know what they're doing. They're fucking nasty people. Nasty fucking people. Kind of shit that like channel killing shit. The other night, whew. I mean, that's so dumb. But 17. Okay, here we go. Lloyd Campbell lived in his RV on Miss Preston's property from March to August 2024, pursuant to an agreement from Miss Preston to purchase his RV for $7,000, with $500 per month rent coming off the price. And if Campbell left, he would leave the RV, and Miss Preston would pay any remaining balance with $200 monthly payments. Now, is there a contract? We still haven't seen proof of a contract. I would love to see that. I would also love to see how in this environment, again, with John Cook and everything else, how would that work into it? Again, I'm not wanting to leave of my own volition. I'm wanting to leave because, again, there are people with some very sketchy pasts out there. There are things happening that I don't want around me. I wouldn't agree with. I want to be away from them. Also, there was a discussion too in the phone call that Jeremy had with Lloyd, talking about John Cook saying that he was going to buy the camper for $1, and Lloyd being like, "No, that never happened." So apparently there were discussions. Again, this can be corrected. But there were discussions publicly, posts about buying for $1. Like, what the fuck? So if there's things like that exist, you know how that would look? It'd look really bad. But anyway, so in June 2024, Campbell fell in his RV and broke his hip while drunk after providing alcohol to 3 teenagers. Now, you notice they decided to. Now, Lloyd has vehemently denied that. They have actually stated this is them alleging that he committed a crime, by the way. They're taking aim at Lloyd, which again is very high. Yeah. So I wonder with all of this, excuse me, I had something in my throat. I wonder with all of this, if this will motivate Lloyd to actually talk about everything. I felt like Lloyd held back some. He just wanted to be away. Now, where they're publicly alleging that he bought alcohol, they're putting it into a, excuse me, man, my throat is clogged up. Give me 1 second. I'm going to mute for 1 minute. All right, sorry about that. I was like, man, there is a mute button. Let's do that. All right, there we go. So I'm wondering, what's going to happen with this? Like, if it were me, you'd really motivate me to like just No holds barred. I'd talk about everything there, all my concerns, every single thing. I would make sure that I sit down every scrap, scintilla of information. I would definitely go back and I would find it in my mind. You know, I would make sure to write it down, make sure to document, put it all together. Because a lot of times, you know, time, especially when it's stressful, it'll come to you piecemeal. I mean, he had an injury there. You know, he's dealing with a lot of stress at the moment. That's when he had his phone call. That's when the whole thing with picking up the RV was. This right here again, motivation. And yeah, the stuff that I mean, Miss Preston, so did she knowingly allow teenagers to have alcohol on the premises? Did she knowingly allow that? Like, that would be a problem, wouldn't it? She was talking about all the other problems with the teenagers and them them getting alcohol and doing other stuff. Was she allowing that? Because this might be something you might not want to admit when you're taking aim at the police. Just my thoughts on it. You know. By the way, I knew about a crime and I allowed this stuff to continue on property that I own. Well, okay. Good job. All right. One time. Resulting in a lengthy stay in a rehabilitation center and an absence of Miss Preston's property. Now, while still recovering in a rehab facility, Mr. Campbell was induced. He was induced. Don't you love this, by the way? Nobody calls of their own accord. Nobody is like, it's like this. I don't know if you've ever been in a situation that was bad, but what happens sometimes in situations, it can go one of two ways. It can either go that you're in a situation and you don't see a way out of it. And finally, when you're removed, maybe you finally are like, yeah, I need to be away. Or things escalate and deteriorate, and you don't really know how bad they are until. I mean, we read some of the text exchanges between Preston and between Lloyd. And those, there's no way in hell I would deal with that. He's paying out for things that aren't his. He's being asked to put money on the book for John while he's in jail again. He's alleging that he's had money stolen from it. People have keys to get in his stuff. I mean, it's insanity. Fleas, lice, you know? I mean, oh my God. Lions and tigers and bears, forget that. It's more like turtles and fleas and lice. Oh my. No, thank you. I want to send that back COD because I ain't opening that box. Gross, my friend. Gross indeed. I don't, like I said too, when I go over this, I don't wish this on anyone. I've talked to Madam Mayor a few times. Madam Mayor strikes me as a person that really wants to help people. She talked about her experiences with Lynette, with John, talked about trying to help them out. But of course, now that she went out and tried to help out, again, we saw the video of it. And it's a good thing they video. Because otherwise, can you imagine the allegations here? But trying to help out somebody, no. Travis, same way. Travis like, yo, I don't even want to be a part of this mess. But how can I not be? Trying his best to stay away from it. Still, I wouldn't wish this stuff on anyone. Whew. You know, of course, their answer, the snarking, if you stop talking about them right now, we won't sue you. You know, again, that's what myself and Megan were told. Afterwards, we were told to keep all of our old videos and everything else. We can keep them up. Thank you for the permission, by the way. Legally, you told us good to go. You're okay with everything. Good to go. Appreciate that. But it's fascinating to me. They file all this litigation. And they say, again, remember, they're telling you that Jeremy demands a specific script to be covered. Meanwhile, they're telling people like myself, Megan, that unlike channels that they name that they're going to talk about this on if I discuss it, they're telling you those channels are totally okay with covering. But if you keep talking about this, we're going to sue you. Again, who's the person that actually is out there trying to keep things on a specific script? Because when I look at that, that's what it sounds like to me. Oh, do this or else. Yeah, no, that's not how it works. So, while still recovering, he was induced by during a recorded phone call broadcast on What the Hale's YouTube channel to claim to be. So he wasn't. They're trying to say that he claimed to be in fear for his life. Not that he was. He was induced. He was forced to do that. He said it multiple times. He told the police that. He said it with them there. He didn't want to be there stressing all these other issues. Strange how that works. Like Lloyd, he's not allowed to make his own decisions. He's not allowed to be afraid. Apparently, according to them, everything's somehow induced. I'm going to tell you, if all this stuff was happening around me, again, all the allegations alone, talking about, allegations about a firearm being brandished on 3 people, including a child. On top of that, the hiding of evidence that was noted by the police. Again, the inappropriate touch. Not only that, but the allegation that don't report that. Because remember, it supposedly happened on the 4th and it was set on for a month. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't want to get away with that. And there's many other things. I'm just saying from that alone, I would be like, no, I don't want to be here. Because what might happen to me, But Mr. Hales offered to send a crew of his people. Aren't you glad to know that all these people, they belong to Jeremy Hales now? Travis, you are his people. He hatched you from a youngling. Jeremy incubated your eggs. Now you belong to him. What the fuck? To retrieve Campbell's RV and other belongings from Miss Hales. I'm sorry, Miss Preston, Miss Hales. Jeremy's like, oh my God, what'd you say? From Miss Preston's property. Miss Hales. Shit. Oh Lord. Oh. In exchange for Campbell agreeing to file a false elder abuse report against Miss Preston. So, you see the allegation here. They're trying to say this is fucking batshit crazy. They're trying to say that Jeremy did a little tit for tat agreement. I'll come in and I'll get your stuff. My people. Again, whom I'm incubated from eggs. I'm going to bring them in. Hatch them by the dozen, baby. And collect them all. Oh my God. I went out collecting Pokemon and I caught a Travis. Yay, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor. Then I caught Miss Mayor of the town. Madam Mayor. Collect them all. Oh my God. Good times. Oh Lord. Oh man, hey Travis, what's up? By the way, it's nice that you're here. I appreciate you, brother. You know this is coming though. You had to. I mean, you did. I'm sorry, man, that this stuff happens to you guys. Really. All jokes aside, brother. I'm sorry that this happens to you all. You knew though after that letter. I mean, you just knew. You could see it. That doesn't make it better. It definitely doesn't make it right. What a bunch of nuts. These people won't stop. They've said they're not going to stop. There's going to be many, many more. They're going to keep doing this. They've said it. Just crazy. But let's see. Instead of leaving the RV in accordance with his contract with Miss Preston. So Miss Preston had the ability to argue that with the police. They were there. And indeed, she decided that she would argue about a refrigerator. Do you remember that? Because I remember that very well. She decided that she would stop, and she decided that she would argue. Again, not about this giant thing that she says she owns, but about a freaking refrigerator. She decided that was important enough to argue for, but not the RV. I mean, she could have contested it while it was right there, and they would have had to go through the courts. But no, it was like totally take it, take everything, take this, take that, but you can't take the refrigerator, of course. Like that, I thought that said plenty. But she arranged, Campbell arranged with Hales to quote unquote rescue the RV in his possession from Miss Preston's property, a pretext orchestrated by Hales to have quote unquote his people gain entry to Miss Preston's property. Now, oh, what a mess. What a crazy mess. Let me look. Let me see what people are noting. Give me 1 second. I'm looking at something. Oh my God. There's so much dumb stuff. Somebody's noticed. So I was sent something on Twitter too. I can't, the way I'm set up right here, I can't look at it right this moment. Monitor. I will in a little bit for sure. But can we do a lawsuit bingo? Yes. When we get back, we'll do some lawsuit bingo and everything. Again, the one thing I can say is the content never dries up. Lord, I can't even get through all the depot. I want to. I've been trying. That's the other thing that makes it, again, they just added another day of coverage, plus anything that comes from this, any other filings and more. Plus we have the federal case going on and everything else. Again, they say they don't want coverage, and yet. Whoops. Shrink that up. Give me a second. Look at that. Look at that professionalism. Whoopsie. All right. Let's embiggen that again. Oh, a little bit less. Whoop. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Sorry about that. I tapped the screen twice. So, on Sunday, August 12th, 2024, while Miss Preston was at home on her property with her 4-year-old daughter, HG, defendant Levy County Deputy Sheriff Gregory arrived unannounced, accompanied by defendants Willis, Granger, Woods, and West, and informed Miss Preston that they were there to retrieve the RV and other property supposedly belonging to Campbell, which is his rights. Again, this is this wonderful idea. If I have property, I have been staying somewhere, you've been allowing me to, I have the right to retrieve my property. I also have the right to have people come and get that. Now, they did the smart thing. They involved the police. They went beforehand. And they told exactly what they wanted, to do. They weren't trying to do anything wild. They just wanted to go in, get this property, which again, think about the other side of this. If they would have announced that, like he doesn't have to announce this. But if he did, what do you think might happen? Like for me, I would be afraid that my property would go missing, would be destroyed. Who knows? But I would be very concerned about that. But it's my property, my shit. They keep talking about her property, on her property. Well, this is what boggles my mind here. They can understand with respect to her what property means. But when it comes to someone like Lloyd, suddenly the idea of ownership, the idea of actually being able to control your property, again, having people around, having rights to that just flies out the window. All of his rights, they suddenly went away. Isn't that strange? Like I said, that's so bizarre, isn't it? And you have the right to retrieve your property. That's the kicker here, by the way. There's more. I'm pulling this up here. Now, on top of that, recording-wise, they had the police talk about it and everything else to make sure. Again, the police have said millions of times, recorded or it didn't happen. I don't agree with that. I actually don't agree with that, period. I think that's garbage. So if they want to complain about recordings, well, but that's not what they're doing there. Now, Lori, thanks for 5, says on this, there's no proof. And she even told the sheriff that the RV's Lloyd's. Yeah, I'm going to have some issues there, aren't they? Now, Allie, thanks for the 5. There's a police audio from Landon tonight saying that alcohol story was Preston lying. Holy shit. Is that for real? Is that up on? I haven't caught up and I've been on vacation. If that's correct, please send that to me. Like if that's the last video, acknowledge that. But if it's something else that I've missed that's outside of the last video there, please make sure I see that, because that will be what we cover tomorrow, baby. That is for show. Holy God. Holy God. Okay, so it's played today. Oh my God. I'm sorry. And content was its name. Oh. And content was its name. I'm sorry. I got a little victory, like remix it, break it down now. Oh, no. Oh, no, don't pay attention. Rebel Bird, thanks for the 5. Please check your DM. Spawn Trooper, is it something relevant to this document? I'll have to check it out for sure. We'll be talking about this tomorrow. I have this feeling. Oh my God. Amazing. Yeah, thanks for the 2 there. Can we say lawsuit bingo? I'm telling you, we got to get there. Now, okay, let's continue. Oh my God, I'm feeling this. So, Miss Preston and HG were terrified and intimidated by having 5 people and an armed sheriff's deputy suddenly appear and disrupt their peace and privacy. Huh. So only Miss Preston is ever, quote unquote, terrified. You notice when Lloyd says that he's terrified, he's afraid for his safety and stuff because of armed people, like a guy that allegedly pulled a gun on a child, like he might be worried about something like that, I would say. That's just y'all plotting. But the sheriff deputy and stuff, yeah, that's terrible. And guess what? Hale's orchestrated the invasion. It is an invasion now. He orchestrated the invasion of Miss Preston's property to occur. I gotta try this again. Hale's orchestrated the invasion of Miss Preston's property to occur. I was trying to make it more sense. I can't. When she was the only adult present on her property at the time of the arrival of the defendant, as was known to all defendants. Oh, you mean because John was in prison? Is that what you mean? She was there all alone. John was away. He was out getting a pack of smokes. Oh my God. Where was the other adult again? Yeah. Holy shit. You got to be kidding me. I would eat that shit right there alive. I would be like, are you fucking kidding me? Dude is in prison. He's in the jail. He's a guest of the state, baby. Oh my God. Oh Lord. That's amazing. That is absolutely freaking amazing. With the assistance of defendant Gregory, to ensure Miss Preston could not interfere with the invasion of her property, defendants Willis, Granger and Granger. That sounds like a show. They should rename their show to Granger and Granger. I kind of like that, because it sounds like G Ranger, They're the real G's. G Rangers, baby. It does. It sounds like cool. It sounds good. I like it. Granger and Granger. Weston Wood proceeded to take anything they claimed belonged to Campbell, with no opportunity for Miss Preston to discuss the RV. What the fuck? She was asked 1,000,000 times. She said, take whatever. Except she disputed the refrigerator. But she herself, she's not allowed to have time to sit down and just argue about shit. He wants his stuff. He's allowed to get it. She had the ability to dispute. She had a cop right there. This is on video, by the way. I feel like I need to watch the video again. Maybe when it's discussed, we need to watch that video again. You know, and of course they'd be like, you can't put that video. I'm going to sue you. You fucking brought it up and you lied about it. That's a fucking lie. That's a point blank fucking lie. And you know it. She had plenty of opportunity. She could have disputed any item. Instead, she was just stacking them on. Oh, just take this, take that. You know. Except again, she wanted to argue about the refrigerator. So she did dispute something, but with no opportunity to discuss the RV or any other item with Campbell, who was quote unquote protected from even speaking with Miss Preston while the invasion ensued. First of all, he doesn't have to talk to her ever again. He is not obligated to talk to her at all. He wanted to sit in a car. She could have marched her happy ass over there and talked to if she wanted to, but she knows exactly why it occurred like it occurred. We read part of the text messages. Again, we saw some of that exchange. If she would like to produce the entirety of said exchanges, hey, that's her prerogative. But I'll tell you, those exchanges sounded awful. What it sounded like is, give me money, give me money. I'm going to kick you off. No, I'm not going to kick you off. Let me in your house. 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 No, I don't want you in there. Let me in, let me in, let me in, let me in. It's like, holy God. You know? Hale chose defendants Granger, and Willis as his people, again with the his people, to retrieve Mr. Campbell's RV because they have active YouTube channels and would broadcast video footage of the invasion. Travis. Isn't it true, Travis? Man, Travis, you want to come on one day? We'll interview. We'll talk about good things you have. It's your prerogative. But I'd really like to talk to you just about by yourself about all of this, like your point of view and stuff. And again, it's your prerogative. You can talk about whatever or not talk about whatever. I know you avoid drama and everything, but you know what? You have a bullseye on you, buddy. You have a bullseye on you because you're not the type of person to take shit. You actually live your life and you don't cower in fear. And that accordingly is with a bullseye on you. I thought you were fun to talk to. I talked to you with Wes. And if you want to talk one day, hit me up. We'll talk. Again, we'll talk about the positives too, because I want to hype the positives that you do out there as well. You know, it's one of the things in this that gets lost in the shuffle. But I'd like to talk to you about the, your point of view, your perspective on all this stuff. Not just this particular event, by the way, just all of it. Like, again, you've seen a lot. And people, I don't think sometimes understand everything they see. I'd also like to talk, like after this, I'd love to talk to Madam Mayor again and see what I'd like to talk to Granger and see what they have to say if they'd like to again. But it's fascinating. Oh, the reason they did it was because you know what? They had to volunteer hours of their time. Hours. They selflessly went in and volunteered hours of their time to help out an elderly veteran. Like they used poor and disabled and elderly here as buzzwords. But in reality, we saw elderly, obviously disabled, because I mean, look what he's dealing with at the time. And I mean, he's talked about his financial struggles. I mean, again, I don't put this on him to be negative. I'm just saying he's struggling. So poor applies there too. So all those things he used as buzzwords, they were trying to help a person with that. And they recorded because the police have told them repeatedly, no video, no proof. But now, of course, video, no, they made it available. They were like, look, this is what happened here. Because you knew how this would go. You could just see it on the horizon. You knew once Lloyd, I mean, that's fucking madness. All of this madness, absolute madness. While on Miss Preston's property, defendants wandered around her property, taking video footage of private locations, even threatening to video HG until Miss Preston took action to shield the child from videoing. They threatened to take video of the child. Huh. Like, when did this happen? Because again, there's video out there of this. She's like, I'm jumping in front of my child. It's like that movie, The Bodyguard. You ever watch that with Whitney Houston and freaking Kevin Costner? You know? Oh my God. They're just jumping in front of it. Oh my God. Oh my Lord. That song, I Will Always Love You. Oh Lord. I'm just imagining that playing like when it pops off, you know. I will always love you. Oh my God. She'd be screaming it with a Stanley straw in her mouth. I would always. That's so good. I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh my Lord. That is so wrong. Miss Preston felt helpless and violated and was terrified that her daughter would somehow be harmed or affected by the events. Again, the police told them what they could or couldn't video. They stuck to that. They weren't trying to videotape show. They could have easily. They could have very easily taken video of the kid, but they tried not to. You know, they stuck to everything that the police told them that they could do. They're very careful about it. What's up, Jenny? Thanks for the 10 there. Rex, the man who moved Lloyd's camper off the property, was missing a family birthday party, but he still came to help. Such a nice man. That's really nice of him, actually. Again, people try to do, you know, the old saying, though, no good deed goes unpunished. I feel like that is particularly the case when it's dealing with this mess. And again, that's no reflection on Lloyd or anything else when I say that. I just feel like people have tried to help and do nice. You know, remember with the discussion of how a lot of this stuff started out, a lot of it, how did this start out? Let's move a tree. You know? Yeah. Oh, Lord. I'm hearing Frozen in my brain with that, you know? Would you like to borrow my tractor and help me move a tree? No. Can I come to your party now? No, I'm not going. I'm not doing it. I can't. Oh, I can't do that. Not doing that. I just want to keep going. I can't stop. I do that with my kids all the time. You know, kids, like I'll cut up with them and make up songs to stuff. Oh. But prior to the unannounced invasion of her property on April the 12th, there was no prior attempt or communication by Campbell, the Levy County Sheriff's Office, Hales, or any of his quote-unquote people to arrange with Miss Preston to have Campbell's property picked up. The surprise invasion was an integral part of the defendant's plan. Again, wild conspiracy, but at the same time, they didn't have to. He didn't have to contact. And if Jeremy would have contacted or anyone else, you know how they would have framed this? They would have framed it as harassment. It's a no-win situation like that. If he makes content, remember, he makes content. If he makes makes content. They say content and shit so much it fucked me up. If he makes comments, they would call it content farming. That's where I was going with that. And they would say he's making threats and more. He's going to put it out there. He's recording the phone calls. He's doing this and that. These people are crazy, man. They're frying brain cells. They're dying. They're like, please help. But you know, for real, Lloyd's property, he has the right to get that. He doesn't have to inform anyone that he's coming to get his property. He is still there, his property, his RV. And interestingly enough, there's a text message between her and Lloyd that said she was the one that said that he could live free on the property. Like he wanted to pay $300. And she was like, no, you can live here for free. Like there is a text that says that. We saw that in that video. I would love to see that one explained too. Because he, how do they have an agreement worked out where they're paying for something if it's like, wait a minute, how do you stay for free? How do you pay rent on something and still have that set up? Again, it just doesn't make sense. Like, this shit doesn't make sense. But, nobody can look further. Snowflower, April. Did it say April on there? Did it have the date April? I don't know. And usually I'm pretty good about like dates or anything. I'll have to look back. I'd set it up. I don't know. I'll have to read through this thing again when I'm at home. And any really weird stuff that jumps out, we'll talk about it tomorrow. So I don't know. I may have missed that in there. If I did, I apologize. But there was no basis for any of the defendants to reasonably believe it was necessary to have an armed deputy sheriff or any security or to conduct a surprise invasion of Miss Preston's property to get Campbell's property. Okay, so the sheriff is there because he's making sure that there are no issues. He's making sure that it's done lawfully. So there is very much a reason to do that. They decided because otherwise, can you imagine if Lloyd showed up and was trying to get his stuff? What could happen? Potentially. You've heard the reports coming out of there. You've seen him. He said he's afraid. So if he's in fear, he is allowed to call the police. You are allowed to lawfully do that. He 100%. And as far as any security, the other people weren't security for him. They were all there to help out, but he needed somebody to drive him. Remember, the man has an injury. He can't drive himself. He has issues. But rescuing Campbell's RV and possessions was a pretext for Hales to have quote unquote his people surprise and intimidate Miss Preston, take video footage of her property for broadcast on YouTube, as was known to all defendants. As was known to all. Again, what they're going to do is end up losing one of these, and then all the fucking bullshit that they've been running. That's why. You know why all of these aren't filed by one person? Like, why we don't have because this stuff is not going to look good. It's not going to look good when. It's going to be fascinating. Like I said, Spruce Bruce, he's like, I'm shielded. I'm shielded. No, you're not, Brucey. No, you're not. I mean, oh my God, this stuff is so nuts. As was known to all defendants. On the next several days, WhatTheHales and defendant Risa Granger's YouTube channel, Madam Mayor's Adventures, as well as numerous other YouTube channels propagating. Everybody covering it is propagating, unless they agree with old Brucey. If Brucey sits on your channel, they're not propagating a storyline. That's your problem, Brucey. You sit on a channel, and that channel takes aim at Jeremy Hales. It tries its best to damage him. And anybody else that talks about this, it tries its damnedest. And you pretend that somehow that's A-okay. And that's your right to go out and you can have an opinion, by the way, but no. Everyone else is in some conspiracy, but not you. Not you setting on again a channel where you talk about suing anyone that doesn't buck the fuck up and get in line. Everyone that agrees with you. So bizarre. So bizarre. But as well as numerous YouTube channels propagating Hale's fake reality storyline to profit from it, broadcasts the video footage procured during the invasion of Miss Preston's property. The quote-unquote story on all channels broadcasting the property invasion footage was that HG was in danger. Now, that actually was not the quote-unquote story that was out there. The story that was discussed, as in what happened, was that Lloyd asked for his property. He made a phone call. He did make some allegations that were disturbing, by the way. There were some disturbing allegations. I will 100% say that. If it were someone else that's getting Bruce, if it were someone else that was just randomly out there, you have problems with that, I would imagine. I imagine like Stark, all these people would be like, holy shit. But not in this instance, right? And again, saying for the upteenth time, don't call anyone, don't mom, don't call CPS, none of that, blah, 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 blah. You know, for real though, it doesn't help. It's not going to help. They look at it as it's a drama between these two neighbors. So it's not going to help. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. But the story, she was endangered as evidenced by the cluttered property condition and based on false statements of the channel hosts and a save HGs sprang up from WhatTheHales fan base as a result. Hales fabricated this story of a supposed emergency removal proceeding. Court action, listen to this is crazy, being pursued by the biological family to remove HG from her mother, causing thousands of fans to call for Miss Preston's loss of her child. And again, this is about Jeremy, again, who is not part of this litigation. Lost her child in placement with people who have no legal standing and whom HG has never known. WhatTheHales videos repeatedly raised false questions about the legality of Miss Preston's adoption of HG, further causing his fans to call for Miss Preston's child to be taken from her. Following the broadcast of the video footage, Miss Preston's property, WhatTheHales, and Madam Mayor's adventures, CPS visited Miss Preston 3. Give me a second, I gotta jump this over. 3. Whoa. I just believe that. I was like, whoa. I'm glad I didn't point that. And again, they're what's fascinating with this stuff is they talk about non-parties in this a lot. They discuss Veteran Nation, who is not a party to this. 3 times, bringing the total such visits from calls to CPS, relying on WhatTheHales, to 27. In every case, clearing Miss Preston of any abuse or neglect of her daughter. Miss Preston received a visit from Elder Abuse Unit based on the false report of abuse by Mr. Campbell, which was induced by Jeremy and George in furtherance of their scheme to have his people invade Miss Preston's property. So she had Elder Abuse Unit come too. And I'm guessing they did absolutely nothing as well. So that's pretty interesting, isn't it? So you got all this crazy shit going on. You have Lloyd saying that there is horrible stuff, that look at the conditions that he's been living in. Look at what he has to, again, mentally deal with, what other people have had to deal with mentally, physically. Like, look at all the awful shit he's talking about. Man. Now, I don't see a statement about the elder abuse outcome, but I'm going to guess nothing happened with that. The stated reason for arranging a crew of his people to enter Miss Preston property that Campbell feared for his life was false. Again, he said it. He said it himself. He had a phone call. It was taped. But again, oh my gosh, it was part of a storyline. I mean, it's like, what the fuck? And a pretext to gain entry for the purpose of videoing the property and broadcasting the footage as part of Save HG storyline created to generate content and views on WhatTheHales. This is nuts, man. You really can't think this is going to win. I mean, be truthful. You really think that this is going to do something positive for you? Holy God. No way. I mean, this is just fucking nuts conspiracy. You can't prove any of this shit. And the people that you're talking about are non-parties. I mean, this sounds like the rant from a fucking lunatic. I've dealt with people that are mentally ill. I'm telling you, this is somebody that deals with people that are mentally ill. And I'm telling you, this reads more like mental illness than a successful lawsuit. It is so crazy. It is so fucking crazy. As a result of the defendant's actions, thousands of strangers from around the world have called for the removal of HG from Miss Preston's parental custody based on nothing more than seeing YouTube videos on WhatTheHales and other channels broadcasting the invasion footage. Nothing more than, it's fascinating. There was a video, again, I'm not talking about one being the other. I'm going to make that very clear before I say this. There was a video, though, taken by I5 Kids. They are on, that's Alec Rawson. They are on Twitter. He goes out and he nabs, we're going to call them PDF files. He stung one in Maryland who wanted to meet up with a 12-year-old that admitted during the aftermath of that to have done horrible things to a 3-year-old. Yeah, that was all based on one video. People became aware. Does that make it not real? Just curious, because a lot of things just happen in a video. Now, I'm not comparing one to the other. Like I said, there are plenty of videos out there. Videos get reactions, of course. Is that the intended consequence? No. The intended consequence is to protect your ass, because they know that they know that God knows what might happen on the property. But in the aftermath, there would be all these bizarre allegations about intent, about what transpired and more. Yeah, you look at how that plays out. You saw it there. But they go on to, here's Veteran Nation, whom they tried to flag down, by the way. As a result of the defendant's actions, one channel, Veteran Nation, during a live stream on August 20th, 2024, started a Change.org petition to have HG taken from Ms. Preston, which more than 300 viewers immediately signed with no personal loss. They didn't immediately sign shit. Immediate means bam, like in there now, boom, boom, boom. And that didn't happen. I know, because I watched that with Brucey. He was sitting up there, and around 50 people signed the thing. Now, change.org is, it's useless. I have seen so many up there. It's useless. So what was the point in putting something together, trying to raise awareness? Sure, but it doesn't accomplish anything. Now, Veteran Nation talked about there was a purpose for them beyond everything. And again, you can refer back to the interview with that, but that immediate idea. And made a live CPS or live false CPS report over the phone while live streaming. You are allowed to make CPS reports. Now, he told them again and again that he was making this in good faith. Now, personally, like I said, I would not do something like that because I don't find it to be beneficial. But you can't tell other people that they can't do something. They are allowed to do that. They are allowed to find something alarming. Look at that. And what's fascinating about this is the person on the other line told them at this time, we will not do anything about it, essentially. They tell them, if you listen to the end of the CPS call, they tell them nothing's going to happen. They're not going to do anything. So it's fascinating to say that they came and visited after CPS said we're not going to do anything. Like that that's so strange, because, again, watch the end of that on Veteran Nation. Then you find out in the aftermath, I don't have the document right in front of me here, but you find out in the aftermath that when Veteran Nation had Bruce on to discuss this, the one place he was even like, oh man, unlike all those other guys, you've had me on. Good for you. Good faith. Then he's writing YouTube behind the scenes trying to shut their channel down. I mean, that is something else. But as a result of defendant's actions, biological sister of HG's birth father started to scam GoFundMe, raising money for a supported court case with unnamed lawyers to get HG legally removed from Miss Preston's custody. It was the second such GoFundMe by the aunt, the prior one having been shut down and donations returned. Okay, let's continue with that. I do not know anything about this GoFundMe, by the way. I cannot give commentary on it. I'm just reading this because I don't know really anything about the GoFundMe stuff. I may have to look into that more, just so I can give more a more accurate description of what's happening there. In fact, attorney Jenny C. of the Miami Law Group PLLC, June 10, 2024, filed a petition for adoption information on behalf of the aunt, seeking an order from the court which would grant petitioner undersigned counsel with access to records and information otherwise sealed to the both-style adoption case. On August 8, the court entered an order directing the petitioner to provide a written response addressing several of the court's concerns. September, the attorney filed an order response in which she acknowledged that DCF had been contacted numerous times but no actions taken, justifying the filing by claiming that petitioner believed that the Department of Children and Families considers these calls a hoax or bids for public attention. Now, the attorney knew from experience so it's they're having exchange with the court back and forth, asking for documentation. This sounds like an actual court case, right? That's what it sounds like so far. Knew from experience as a family law practitioner that no standing existed for the aunt or anyone else to attempt to access the adoption file, and that Miss Nelson's status as the sister of the birth father who gave up HG for adoption no more possible interest in adoption by virtue of that relation than any other stranger. Now, the attorney filed the petition purposely without taking any steps to learn the identity of Ms. Preston's adoption lawyer for purposes of serving a copy of the petition, so there could be no interference with the emergency removal proceedings. This sounds like they went in, they tried to find out information and all this craziness. Again, somehow it all boils down to German Hales. Like, this is fucking madness. This is madness. Somehow this is orchestrated by German. What? So no interference with the emergency removal proceeding. Hales was informed his audience would take place. She could have easily contacted any number of persons to try to learn the identity of the adoption counsel to serve a copy of the petition. So someone files a court filing. And they're like, well, they didn't do it this specific way. Therefore, Jeremy, he was trying to propagate a narrative. It's like, wait, what? What the fuck? What does that mean? I feel like I don't sniff enough glue to understand this, you know? I mean, Lordy. Lordy. Man. Some days are freaking just nuts. Right? I mean, is it just me, or is this just read like lunacy? I mean, this can't be just me, right? That's thinking, what in the world? Let me read a couple of these super chats. So we'll hit this other page. Jackie, thanks for the find there. If I were Lloyd, I'd get the fridge back, lay it in the road in front of the line heads, and have Jeremy run it over with his tractor. I'd start up a YouTube channel if I were Lloyd and call it Lloyd's Fridge. That's what I would do. I'd be like, broadcasting from the fridge and do food reviews. That'd be great. Green Veggies, thanks for the $5 super sticker. Appreciate you. Thank you there. SF, thanks, Bob. If Jeremy really wanted footage of the property, he could have just gotten a drone. For fuck's sake, this shit is getting old. Yeah. I should get some relief, Tuck. Thank you. Yeah. Well, it does, and again, it's not going to stop anytime soon. They're hoping. See, this is what I've learned from other cases too. Some people will never stop, and they rely on you getting tired of it, and then you walking away. And It just gets crazy. It does. And unfortunately, like I said, it's just going to get crazier. It's not slowing at all. Yeah, thank you for the $5 $5 super chat. It's super sticker my brain. No statement attached. Plenty of statement though in backing. Thank you. SF, thanks for the 2 there. Get some relief. Not get some. But you can do that too. That's true. That is very true. Patty, thanks for the 10 there. I think Lynette and Crook have Lloyd's guns. I also think LP still has her gun. Well, those are some interesting questions. Maybe they'll answer that. Probably not. Rider Chick, thanks for that. I'm angry that they dismiss Lloyd's fear. No one has the right to tell anyone what they should or shouldn't be afraid of. How dare they do that? Well, what's really crazy about the fear thing is that she says that she's terrified, but Lloyd's fear doesn't count. Her reported fear does, but not that, So Troy thinks the ounce GoFundMe was taken down because they withdrew the majority of the money to pay the lawyer that they had organized. So they didn't take it down. They took the money out of it. Okay. I mean, that would make sense. 100%. I haven't looked into that just to know. Sue, thanks for 5. What does the adoption or the Hales have to do with anything? It has nothing to do with. That's what I'm saying. I had to take a moment for a minute. We'll finish the rest of it, but I had to have a moment because this is it's like bird chirp. I don't know what the fuck it's supposed to mean, and it's driving me nuts. DJ Radis, thanks for the douche canoe. Find me, biatch. Hashtag not found, not served 2024. Find me, biatch. Yvonne, thanks for 5. There's a video out there this week with the sheriff on Jeremy's channel. I'll have to check. Like I said, I got to catch up this week. I haven't even finished the depot yet. I'm so mad. What's up, John? Thanks for the 22 much. John, appreciate you, brother. Seriously, to all Tug family, I feel overwhelmed sometimes by how I about my wife's health. Yes, dude. And even if I like with me on the microphone, I hope you understand too. You and yours, John, are very important. You're somebody that I know because you've been around here. You've been around here a lot. Appreciate the heck out of you all. You're on my mind, and I thank you. But yes, thank you so much for the concern. Love you all. We're all Tugs, indeed. That's the beautiful thing about this. And one other. But man, love to you, brother. Love to you. Love to your wife. Love to you all. Is that Carol Lee? Am I saying there? I don't know. I'm probably messing your name up. I'm sorry. Thanks for the 10 there. Thanks for the coverage. It's making me laugh. Yeah. Well, I thank you for being here because when I read this stuff, I really need some people to make me laugh too. Okay. So thank you all. Okay, let's continue. Here we go. So the attorney conducted no investigation whatsoever to determine the veracity of any information from Ms. Nielsen, despite that it would have been simple to contact any number of persons, given that the entire matter was covered on YouTube. Contact information, those with knowledge, was easily available. Wait a minute. So they talked about it all on YouTube? I thought we weren't supposed to talk about the adoption. Wait, so all the information was out there? Oh, yeah, that's right. You talked about it on channels there, didn't you all? Channels that you're not going to sue for talking about that. But like I said, if somebody else had any other opinion whatsoever, whether it be a lawyer or a journalist or a mental health person or just a YouTuber, whomever, they're not allowed to have that. I forgot totally. Thanks for reminding me, Brucey. Appreciate that. When the judge informed the attorney she would need to provide a valid basis for accessing the adoption file for the aunt, the attorney for financial remuneration signed and filed a frivolous response. So they're going after the attorney, saying that the response was frivolous. Again, what does this have to do with this lawsuit? It has fuck all to do with this. This is garbage lawsuit. If this is the best that Bruce and Scott can do, come on, man. This is shameful. This is a fucking sham, dude. Like this is. I know you all sit around and you flap your little arms like seals. You're like, or, pretending that you really did something amazing. What are you applauding here? What have you done that? I mean, it's stupid as fuck. This means nothing. It doesn't have any point whatsoever. It doesn't stick to the purpose. It's like just this insane conspiracy that you spell out, and the people that you know are not even involved. You're talking about another case. You're talking about other people that you have a case with. What this looks like is you file frivolous litigation. That's what it looks like. That you continue to file frivolous litigation to try to shut down anyone that doesn't agree with you. It's madness. I mean, come on. Is anybody looking at this and thinking, for real? I mean, objectively, are you looking at this and thinking, man, this is a great filing here? They brought out some real heavy duty fucking guns there. They're going to take it all down. Because if you are, you and I, like, maybe I'm missing something here, you know? Oh, my God. Oh, my Lord. Maybe if I maybe if I paint a room and don't ventilate it, maybe this will make more sense. Oh, these paint fumes really bring out the lawsuit. I mean, I don't know. So on information and belief, the aunt paid the attorney with portions of funds raised for the GoFundMe to save AHG and likely retain some funds for her own personal use. And likely. So they accuse her of fucking, Bruce was accused of setting up a fraudulent GoFundMe by one of those 18-year-olds. He was accused of that. Huh. I mean, if we're talking about GoFundMe, I'm just, wondering about that. All defendant knew, or was complicit in, Hale's scheme to create sensational content generating high-interest story for YouTube content centering on saving HG. The entire set of events, the property invasion, taking of the RV, the false CPS reports, the involvement of the family law attorney to file something in court to lend a kernel of truth for Hales to claim there was an emergency removal proceeding in progress, was part of a common scheme in which all defendants willing to participate. This is the fucking craziest thing I've ever read. Well, maybe not the craziest, but you get what I'm saying. Then we get to our accounts. Okay. So our counts. What are our claims here? Oh my God. I mean, this is so just nuts, man. Oh my God. No, count one. Version. The defendant's acting in, taking the RV from Ms. Preston's property was unauthorized by Ms. Preston. Who gives a fuck if it was authorized by her? It wasn't her property. The defendant's removal of the RV deprived Ms. Preston of her property. Her property. Prove it. That she didn't dispute it again, had already paid a significant portion of the purchase price and had the right to complete the purchase. Ms. Preston had ownership interest in the RV pursuant to her contract. Where's the contract? The removal of the RV from her property and resultant deprivation was against Ms. Preston's ownership interest. Defendant Willis received a letter. I told you that letter. I told you. I'm not trying to be an ass when I say that, but I'm just saying. When I saw that letter, I told you they would file a lawsuit. I knew it. I knew that's where it was going. Like I said, I'm not trying to be like, I told you so. I'm saying, like, to all you, like, I'm sure most of you understood that too. But I was like, this is them setting up frivolous litigation. You knew it was. Like, again, remember, Bruce plays the whole, I've never said I'm going to sue anyone. Come on, man. Stop playing that shit. I'm such a mastermind. I've never actually said those words to anyone. I mean, come on, dude. Who the fuck believes that mess? So defendant Willis received a letter, Ms. Preston's counsel, August 24th, 2024, informing him Ms. Preston's claim to the RV. That was from Bruce, by the way, right? That was from Bruce, right? The letter from her counsel. Warning him to preserve it. It aired on the video YouTube channel. What you doing, Bruce? What you doing, Bruce? What you doing, Willis? Promoting a fundraiser to purchase the RV. from Camel for a donation to a veteran. In response to receiving counsel letter, 25th, 2024, Willis aired a video showing him giving the RV away. He's like, that's you responding to it. So was that a response, or were you just airing something? As a result of the conversation, the conversion rather of the RV conversation by the defendant, Ms. Preston has suffered damages. Okay, let's blow the other one up. Oh my God. It's like totally my van. I mean, what is this? I don't even know what I'm reading some days. Like when I'm telling you, I feel like I'm getting dumber by the minute. Oh, man. Did I skip part of part 2? Am I missing a page here? Give me 1 second. That's page 11. Am I missing a page? No, that's page 10. Mother. Okay. So I'm going to read the very bottom. There's like a little sentence at the bottom I missed. So count 2. I'm just going to throw this in, and then I'm going to pull up the next page. Invasion of privacy, intrusion. All defendants knew that they were entering Ms. Preston's property on the pretext of the purpose of wandering around videoing the property condition and clutter to broadcast the clutter. They were broadcasting the clutter, the mess. The point in them for doing it was to actually go in and videotape the terrible conditions that we allege don't exist. It's like, wait, what? Such video footage in conjunction with Hale's fabricated Save HD storyline or What the Hales. Again, look at this fucking conspiracy he's built out of nothing. All defendants intruded on Ms. Preston's property and privacy by entering for pretextual reasons and then wandering around and videoing. As a result of the invasion of privacy, Ms. Preston HD have suffered damages. What damages? What damages? Count 3, invasion of privacy. All defendants knew that the purpose of pretextual entry onto Ms. Preston's property was to obtain video footage of her property. All defendants knew and intended that the video footage was to be broadcast on What the Hales, Madam Mayors, and other YouTube channels that have regularly broadcast content from What the Hales related to the Bad Neighbors fake reality storyline. It's funny. This is the same guy, by the way, that cried in my freaking messages. You're on to talk about all this. Yeah, he wanted to be on these channels. Now we're all some kind of monsters. So it's funny. He begs DUI guy Megan Fox to cover his stuff. He begged to be on them. But since they told him no, they're all monsters. It's crazy. Crazy. The video footage depicted private areas and revealed private information that a reasonable person would not want publicized and was not a matter of public interest. That's what they try to, oh, that's not public interest. Oh, yes, it's all public interest. You help maintain that too, Brucey. You have taken something that was not as much. It would have just been a fading blip on the radar. And you have been like, let's shine a giant spotlight on it. Let's make it big time. Congratulations. As a result of the broadcast of the video footage, Ms. Preston's property, publicly revealing private information. What private information? What private information did we see, by the way? What didn't we know from fish and wildlife, for example? What did we suddenly find out? That she likes to throw shit on the ground when she's angry at people? I mean, what did we find out? There's this nasty ass black water sitting in a gross ass freaking tub. There was an entire trailer of trash sitting out there. You know, really getting ripe out there. You know, the scent. I could smell it. Is that what it is? Then civil conspiracy. Like I said, this is what they're going to try to everybody, by the way. You're all in a conspiracy because you don't come in and kiss my feet. It's like, I'm holding up a finger. Can you imagine what finger it is? I'll give you a few hints. I am not giving you a thumbs up. I'm not drinking fancy tea. We're not getting married, and I'm not pointing straight at you. What finger am I holding up? You can guess. Civil conspiracy. The defendants conspired to enter Miss Preston's property on the pretext of retrieving Campbell's RV, but for ulterior, unlawful purposes. No proof of this whatsoever. Just an insane fucking conspiracy. Like I said, this sounds like the rantings of a totally mad person. Okay. And not mad as in I'm angry. Mad as in, yeah. It's so bizarre. Like, again, they're all conspiring. They're all out to get me. It's like, okay. All right, another page. Give me a second here. Man, it's craziness. I swear. I don't even know what to think about it sometimes. A chance, by the way. Thanks for the 5. J.H. did call Adult Protective Services 2 years ago because Lynette was saying that JC was beating her. J.H. promoted the GoFundMe. But that's it. So he called because she said that Cook was tearing her out. Well, what a monster there. He shouldn't have called to help. Yeah, well, you know, the path too. What's the path paved with good intentions? Yeah, you know. So the path of the Bible, or no, that's for your John, by the way. Thanks for 5. Wife, he said to tell you, thank you. We were both sitting here fighting onion ninjas. That's where you go with that. Gotta watch out for those jerks. They come out of nowhere. I know you gotta. By the way, man, for real, love to you guys. Seriously, brother. Appreciate you. You folks that I like, especially if I know your names after a while. I love all of you. Like, this is your channel as much as it is mine. But some of you, like, been around forever. There have been days if I've had a bad day, you're here, and I appreciate the heck out of you. Heather, thanks for 5. Everyone from the beginning need to be fired. They make Kingstone cops look like pros. I never understood how lying that is the supporters. Because they're not supporters. They just, many people revel in the chaos. Or there are people that hate Jeremy for whatever fucking reason. You know, they were airing video. Like, I thought this was fascinating. So they were airing some video the other night, apparently. I had seen this before, where Jeremy has a verbal altercation with another person, right? They were like, oh my God. So apparently actions matter like that, but they don't matter like when somebody pulls a gun on an 8-year-old or, you know, all this other horrible shit happens. Apparently none of that matters. It's fucking crazy. See, thank you. Welcome. Thank you for the membership. Welcome to Telling Thugs. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. John, thanks for the 5. Something wrong with membership gifting tonight. I get white circles when I try. That's nuts, man. Like a few people, man. I don't know. I'll contact them and tell them that some people, when they try that, they get that. That's messed up, man. Thank you for trying that, John. Appreciate you. T-Steve, thanks for the 10 gifted memberships. Maybe it's being weird with specific people. I don't know. I'll try to follow up on that, though. But thank you, T. Appreciate that 10 memberships. Thank you very much. Jack's mom, thanks for the 5 there. I think these frivolous lawsuits just help Jeremy's show. She'll do anything for money. They support his case. Yeah, federal case. Dumbass dudes. Yeah, that actually is a feeling that I get too. If you want proof that people are trying to ruin, destroy everything you do, attack everyone around you. I mean, yeah, here it is. Here it is, in my opinion. So they say the defendants conspired to invade Miss Preston's property and videoed Miss Preston's property for the purposes of rebroadcasting the footage and What the Hales, Madam Mayor's Adventures, and other YouTube channels. As a result of unlawful acts, overt actions, and furtherance of all of the conspiracy, the defendants are liable for the damages to Miss Preston as a result of the invasion of her property and broadcast of video footage taken during the invasion. Count 5. Intentional infliction of emotional distress. The actions of the defendants were extreme and outrageous. Yeah, how dare they try to help out this fucking veteran moving his stuff? Monsters. The actions of the defendants were intentional. Yeah, they intentionally went out and helped the veteran. What a monster. The defendants knew or should have known that their actions would cause a reasonable person to suffer emotional distress. The plaintiffs suffered severe emotional stress as a result of the actions of the defendants, including, now this has nothing to do with the litigation. Like I said, this is other people that they're talking about. They brought up Veteran Nation. Where the fuck is Veteran Nation in this? Not there. They didn't even include. If they were going to fucking go after somebody, man, I don't know. Why include him? Huh. It's just bizarre, isn't it? Including the resulting CBS calls. Now they're trying to be like, this resulted in people doing this, and they knowingly went out with the result because they had this this artificial save HG going on. And when they had that, they were trying to propagate it with lawyers and storylines. And I mean, it's fucking insanity. Including the resulted CPS calls by people who saw video footage of Miss Preston's property on WhatTheHales and other YouTube channels and were influenced to make false reports, leading to CPS visits to Miss Preston. The plaintiff suffered severe emotional distress as a result of being terrified due to Hale's claim of emergency removal proceedings, and the fans' reaction to that. This is not even part of the lawsuit, you dipshit. Bruce, I'm so irritated with your dumb shit. You're so fucking stupid. You people are so dumb. It's not part of the litigation. What does this have to do? There's another case, like you just said. You told the freaking judge out there. You told them that there is a lawyer requesting documentation. This stuff is ongoing. I mean, you map that out, and then you're like, oh, well, part of this. It's like, what does that even mean? Oh, my God. Then the sheriff's deputy. At all relevant times, Defendant Gregory was acting under color of law. Okay, let's see how this goes. Give me 1 second. This is almost done, by the way. We're almost to the end of stupidity. I can't wait for the answer for this. Oh my God, I look forward to reading the answer to this lawsuit. Oh Lord. I gotta catch up the federal lawsuit. I've just been having fun fucking with Bruce and be like, I'm not gonna read your stuff. It makes him so mad. You know it does. Why do we make up? Defendant Gregory, again, talking about law enforcement here, could have notified Miss Preston in advance that Campbell wished to retrieve his property, enabled her to arrange for it without an unannounced invasion. First of all, not an invasion. Second of all, he doesn't have to announce that because he has concerns about his property. He's not to go and check on that. He doesn't have to tell you fuck all. That would give somebody, again, if he's saying that there are problems there, they could have a chance to destroy or do anything. He can go get his stuff. Defendant Gregory used his authority to force Miss Preston to endure an invasion of her property, peace, and tranquility by 5 hostile individuals. I know, man, so hostile. I mean, did you see them spend those hours breaking down an RV to travel, loading boxes? Oh my God. Giving Lloyd a shoulder when he was brought to tears. What monsters. Holy shit, what monsters. Defendant Gregory knew the other defendants were using the retrieval of Mr. Campbell's RV and property as a pretext to gain access to Miss Preston's property for ulterior purposes, including the videoing of property for use on WhatTheHales and other YouTube channels. Defendant Gregory's presence and unilaterally permitting the other defendants to invade her property under his guard constituted an unreasonable seizure. Oh my God, are you kidding me? This is unreasonable seizure. Why? Because Lloyd lawfully wanted the police there to make sure nothing broke off because he thought they were mine. Police there, oh no, that's a law unreasonable seizure. Defendant Gregory knew the other defendants had no right to enter Miss Preston's property and in fact issued trespass citations. Yeah, so she asked for there to be a trespass at the end. I wouldn't have stuck around. Like I told all of them, I wouldn't have stuck around. I wouldn't have accepted them because she asked it. You can have people trespass from your property in the aftermath. After the property is retrieved, then you can issue that. I would have told him to fuck himself and he could have kept it. But of course, they wanted to do everything the right way. Now, I'm not second guessing anything there. They did everything how they should, but she asked for that in the aftermath. That has nothing to do with what happened before. In fact, trespass citations to each of them after they completed their invasion and theft of property, despite that they had entered the property with his permission and under his car. It's just twisting the shit. They just twist everything there. Defendant Gregory's actions violated 42 U.S.C. 1983 by depriving Ms. Preston of her rights under the Fourth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution to be free. It's funny. They were complaining about the Fourth Amendment being used. Remember that? When DUI guy talked about the Fourth Amendment, I think this is just the butthurt coming through. You talked about the Fourth Amendment. I'm going to bring up the Fourth Amendment because she had it violated. That's how it feels. In fact, it was her Fourth Amendment. It's like, oh my God. He's like, it wasn't the Fourth Amendment for them. It was Fourth Amendment for her. Oh, Lord. Dun, dun, dun. Defendant Gregory's conduct was an actual cause of harm to Miss Preston and HG. Give me a second. And yeah. And let's see. Give me a second. And let's see. That's with the wherefore, blah, blah, blah. So you know the wherefores and all of that too. Like I said, I dumped the last page because it had addresses attached to it. I did not want to pull up the addresses of anyone that is involved in this. Again, that's one of the fucked up things about this stuff. You know, they file something, and of course, the address goes out to the world where all of these people live. But of course, that's not, that's not someone trying to intimidate you or cause you problems, right? Not trying to make you not do something correctly. Yeah. So, Carolyn, thank you. Welcome. Thank you for the membership. Welcome to Tugs Thugs, by the way. Appreciate you. Yes. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for the membership. Welcome to Tugs Thugs. All right. I'm going to cut it here. I think we've gone on for a while. I appreciate you. We will go more in depth tomorrow. We will talk about some other stuff that comes up with this too. I'm on vacation for the rest of the night. I'm going to go enjoy myself, hang out with the kids, but I felt like this needed to be covered. Again, we will have fun tomorrow. We will talk about everything that comes up. But this just is madness, right? Tomorrow we will have a legit sit down and talk about stupid live stream. I'm actually off for that day and Friday. So we're going to have a beast of a live stream tomorrow, I think. We'll have fun. But anyway, I appreciate you folks. I'm going to end it here. Much love to you all. See ya.